So through they come. This will be your fastest laps up on the screen right now. Pingle is the quickest of the group right now, 1:44.02 on lap 3. Coming through to complete lap number 5, this 11-lap race. Man, time flies. Feel like we just started the race, and there is. Oh, man, you'd see this at Parramatta Speedway, not out at Sydney Motorsport Park. Look at the damage to the Uber Gang entry. He's just going to motor on around. He's back in 28th position. He's just hoping for points here. Yeah, definitely. You've got to consolidate and try and get some points, but definitely looks like he's been in a demolition derby race, but amazing that the little thing's still pedaling around. Another 1/10 of a second that time around for Abella. Let's go further back here to Duckworth, Stevenson, Chamberlain and Miles Bond, who comes together up here. You can see that coming a mile away. Yeah, they just hooked wheels there, obviously. Mid-opportunity, and threw it down the inside, thought he'd have a go. And that car, as you can straighten it up down here, watch this. Coming together, so Bond on the inside here. Now, oh, yeah, something's let go in the front here, perhaps. Yeah, it looks like he's broken a shock on the left front. It's the car under brakes has obviously jacked up the inside rear wheel. Yeah, he's definitely got some mechanical failure there. And it's Daniel Gawn who's copped it there. He'll be out of this one, dropping down the order. I hope he can get that car off the track because it's down in a passing point of this track. At turn 2 there, Adrian Flack still on the back here of Pingle. James Abella still leading. And the gap's out to 1.6 seconds. And let's try the outside. Doesn't work. Didn't work. He drops himself to the back of this group. He had to have a go, but now has a lot of work. I think Flack's actually got some pace here, but obviously his tyres have come on at a different point from Pingle's. But obviously trying to throw it down the outside there didn't work. There's only really one groove around this track. It's and offline it's quite a little bit slipperier. So James Abella leads us on to this long main straight at Sydney Motorsport Park. This is the battle we want to keep an eye on. 2nd, 3rd and 4th between Pingle, Carr and Adrian Flack as they come through to complete lap number 6. Yeah, so Abella's just doing a great job driving consistently, looking after his tyres, not really looking in his mirrors too much and just doing the job. So it's settled down for the moment. Some of the cars further back in the field here. This is what we were trying to get back to before. Stevenson, Chamberlain, there is Daniel Gawn's car. They've left it there, and it's an okay position. I don't think it's completely safe, but it'll wipe out a passing opportunity down there in the latter stages of this race. Surprised there is no safety car for that one, but that's not my call. Daniel Gawn actually did break a shock yesterday, so maybe the other one decided it was time to fail as well. So unfortunate for him. You can see this is where we're talking about, right-hand side here. So it's okay on the inside of the curb here. It's the other side of that curb. And everybody behaving themselves today. Yeah, definitely. The guys obviously learned from their mistakes yesterday. But pedaling through turn 5 just a little bit cautiously. Still exploiting the track limits here, but there's no beacon there, so that's okay. 1200cc motorcycle engines revving to about 11,500 revs. Pingle doing some serious wheel work there on the brakes. I think he might be overdriving just a little bit too much now. Yeah, the tyres are on the wrong side of cool, aren't they? Yeah, definitely. Just sliding a little bit too much, increasing that tyre temperature, and he's probably pushed them over the point of their ideal temperature working range. A little lock-up. You picked that well. Yeah. So Carr has moved up a position, and I think it's just a matter of time. And Pingle's going to drive defensively. He's trying to break the slipstream here, isn't he? Yeah, definitely. Obviously, slipstream makes a big difference, and Carr's on a bit of a charge here. And Flack's getting the double toe into turn 1. Have a look. Uh-oh. Oh! Held my breath there for a second. We're coming up to Ruth Bowler now in car number 9. Ruth had a couple of spins yesterday. No damage to the number 9 machine, but she's about to go a lap down in this race, and this may help. Ooh, actually, there's a yellow flag there, so Bella's just passed. I know it's a slower car. See what the officials say about that one. Is Pingle wrapping up now? You can see the wheel work. This is graphic now, so his tyres have pretty much had enough of race number 1. He's going to drive defensively here in the last couple of laps. He's still got Carr and Flack. Duckworth is in 5th position, and Damien Flack, Stevenson, Chamberlain, Woods, and Trent Young, the birthday boy, back in 10th place. Great little battle we got going on here, but I think Pingle might be regretting his decision to hustle the car a bit. I'm pretty sure these boys behind him are going to pounce on him very soon. What's it like when the tyres do go off? What's the feeling like? Can you tell? Oh, you can tell. There's not much you can do. You just have to straighten it up. But
I think Pingle, you'd obviously have to drop some lap time to allow them to cool down, but he hasn't got that. That is allowed to do that at the moment. He's got the boys behind pushing quite hard.
I think Adrian Flack's tyres might be starting to show their signs as well. It's been a great drive from James Abella. It's a shame for Maurice Massini because that would have been a great scrap. Broken tail shaft put him out at the start of this race. I'm sure he'll get the car repaired for race 2 and do it from the back. Yeah,
unfortunately, I mean, it's not driver error, it's a mechanical failure, and ideally, you know, the championship doesn't show that at the end of the year. It wasn't his fault, unfortunate, but that's motor racing, and we've all been there.
Expect to see a lot of this guy in the future as we start the final lap. It's going to be a time-certain finish here in race 1 of the Aussie Racing Car Super Series for 2015. Watch Peter Carr heading through turn 1. Hanging tough still there in 3rd position. They head up to turn 2 for the final time.
It'll be interesting to see if the drivers actually know it's the last lap, whether they've had a radio call or not, whether they count the laps, but final lap usually brings out some action in that battle pack for 2nd position. As we see Pingle there still sliding it, but hanging on to it.
Pingle's not going to pull in. James Abella here, he's taken 3/10 out of him on the previous lap, but as he makes a mistake, I'm touching wood right about now. I think James Abella's looking good.
Yeah, I think James Abella's just buttoned off a little bit just to consolidate that position and make sure he doesn't make a mistake, but he's got that breathing space. Oh, Pingle.
It's going to stretch
I reckon we've got to move on here.
Down to turn 8, maybe. Stays the way they are. He's going to extend the gap out by 17 points going into race 2 today. So that's a massive gain over Uber Gang as they come down to turn 8 for the final time.
Yeah, and obviously Uber Gang's got to try and get through 30 cars. So
yeah, busy.
It's a double gain for Abella.
So through he comes down to the final sequence of turns. Abella has shut this race down. It's going to be on for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. I wouldn't like to be Pingle in this situation. We've seen this all before. Locks are breaking in, and now this is opening the eyes of the guys behind.
Yeah, last run down to the straight. But I think we're status quo here, trying to get the slipstream.
James Abella is going to hold on and become the 10th different winner this year already in the Aussie Racing Car Super Series. The 17-year-old wins at Sydney Motorsport Park. Pingle did hold on for 2nd. Carr will get 3rd. Then it was Adrian Flack. Go back to Duckworth, Damien Flack, Stevenson, Chamberlain and Young. Woods got himself inside the top 10 there on the last lap, and the camaraderie between these guys is awesome. We see this is pretty standard at all the rounds. The drivers line up in the 2 or 3 wide formation to say thank you to the fans. That we recommend 2 hands on the wheel.
Yeah, that was, don't usually see that, 2 hands out either side, 1 hand out each side of the car, but no, great race, and the guys have a lot of fun out there. I know it's a good little class where you can rub some panels and press on. You can even roll the car over and press on, apparently. So, yeah, great to watch, great spectator sport, and you know, thanking the fans is obviously to give back to the fans.
You can see right down the field there, nearly 50 seconds covering the first 20 cars, but James Abella collecting the win.